Good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camppatton Family Compound, and we got Tammy of Rebel Canners here, and we're waiting for Mark from Chef Tech to show up. But we'd like to welcome you to the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic is which one, dehydrating or canning? So how's everybody doing out there? And I forgot to change my background. Oh, horrors. Hang on here. Let me put the right one in there. There it is. Got the canning one up there. Oh, well, let's see who else here. Say hi to everybody. So first one in this afternoon, and it was this afternoon, with Shady Hill Homestead. Then Walt Rogers came in, Phelan Clan Wolf, Howie at Food Forest Permaculture, Ryan the Gamer, Tammy Harder, Kaylin Strain is here, Lee at Cold War Prepper, Diana 2 is here, Mother Earth Garden Club, Angel's Homestead is here, and everybody's talking to each other. Oh, Lewis is here. It's hey, Marshmallow Man. And everybody's talking back and forth there. Interesting thing, and I was just waiting for this to happen. So Saturday, I bought a used car, a low mileage Nissan Murano, all-wheel drive, for the snow up here. That's the reason I went up to get something with all-wheel drive. And when I was there, my wife said, ask them what their interest rate is. If it's not down, 2.5%, maybe 3%, just write the check for the whole amount of the car. And he goes, we're at 6 point. I'm writing a check. He didn't finish that. They 6, and I go, I'm writing a check for the whole thing. Because we have what's called a HELOC. It's a house equity loan. Yeah. The house in California, which was totally paid for. We opened the HELOC to pay for the roofing, and she has just about paid off. She's just go ahead and use the check for that. So she gave me a check last time I was down there, and so I wrote it up because that's only 1.25% we have on that HELOC.
And isn't that tax deductible because it's interest on a home loan?
I'm not sure, but we pay it off so friggin' fast.
Every little bit counts when you're talking tax.
So I went and did that, but guess what the ad was here on YouTube for today's live?
I got a political one.
Yeah, both of them were loans, and they're showing loans for cars. Sorry, I don't need a loan for a car. I paid cash.
I have a funny story about that. It's not my story, but it's my cousin's.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin lives in another state. He's a roofer. So when you see him after work, obviously he's got tar on his clothes and, So he went in and he wanted to buy a truck, and he's looking at the lot, and nobody came out to talk to him. And around here, boy, they mob you the minute they see a live one on the lot.
Yeah.
They didn't come out to talk to him. And so he went down to the next car dealership, and he picked out a truck, and he's like, I'll buy it. I'm paying cash for it, but I got one condition. And the guy goes, what's that? Right. He goes, I want you to call the car dealership I just left and tell them how much the sale was and what I bought, and describe me to them and let them know I paid cash for it, and they lost the sale by not coming out and waiting on me. I'm pretty sure they were happy to do that.
Oh, no problem.
I did that when I bought my Lamborghini. I went into one Lamborghini shop and dressed like a bum, and they didn't want to talk to me. I went to the other one, and they let me take a road test, and I paid cash. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, Serene Norell's in here as well.
Hey, Serena.
Oh, yeah. The yeah. Well, so, my sister did car sales and real estate. She's still doing real estate. She's one of the biggest sellers in her office down there in Texas. But I tried doing car sales. It's like, I'm sorry, I like being more honest with people.
There's two types of salespeople. Ready? Those that can eat and those that can sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is all. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And I decided not to sell cars. I decided to sell the work that the car needed directly to the customer and actually do the work. And I wasn't a jerk, and that's why I had to leave doing that, because the people that were selling my work for me were adding on all the crap that the customers didn't need.
Oh.
And that just pissed me off. And yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Too many scandals.
Sorry.
Too much.
And I hate it going in as a woman. They assume that you know nothing.
Oh, my daughter she bought I forget what she bought. It's a Nissan or something. And it started acting up, and the check engine light came on and started flipping out, and she had it towed to the Mitsubishi dealer. And it's right up the street from my house. And she told me, I was like, okay, I got nothing for you, sweetie. Well, she got a call and said, I went over there to find out what was going on with it. Well, a mouse chewed through a couple of the wires in the harness. Of course, their answer is, you need a complete underhood harness for $1,200. Well, I went and talked to the technician. I said, show me. And he showed me, and it was just a chew through. I'm like, if you pop this, pop that. I said, I'm not looking for a permanent repair. She needs the car. She just got married. They're going on their honeymoon. She needs it. I said, can you use some good? He's like, yeah, I can do that. Of course, the receipt says, no guarantee. I'm like, and I told him, I was like, I probably have more faith in your work doing this than the actual new harness itself. Yeah. So it cost me $250 instead of $2,000. And meanwhile, where she lives, I said, sweetie, you don't want to put a harness in it right now because you're going to put a brand new harness in it and the mice are going to chew that one too. And she's like, yeah, good point, Dad. So yeah, it's something to be said. And she's a girl. She went in there and that's what they said. Oh, you need this and this. That's it.
One of my daughters lives, it's a spare, not one of my birth children, but one of my spare daughters lives downstate, down in the metropolitan Detroit area. And she needed some car work done that she couldn't afford. And they were kind of tacking a bunch of stuff on. She goes, Mom, what do I do about this? I said, you go in, and when you go to get your work done, tell them you're going to take all the parts with you because your parent wants to see them. Don't tell them I'm a woman. All of a sudden, they changed their mind when they got in there. It didn't need as much work.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
And
it's your right to take the old parts, except for you probably don't want the oil and the filter, but everything else. Yeah, I want the harness. I want everything.
Yep. So she took the parts to Mom. She calls me from the automotive shop. She goes, Mom, I've got the parts in the back. What do I do with them now? I said, you find the nearest dumpster and you throw them in.
Yeah.
She goes, well, what did I do that for? I said, you remember when they got in there and they decided you didn't need all that work?
Uh-huh.
She goes, yeah. I said, that's because they were cheating you on that. And if you hadn't asked for the parts,
they would have told you, oh yeah, you need these parts, not actually replace them, and then build you for the new ones. And some guy who owned the same model would throw it in his toolbox and use it to fix his car. I know, it's a scam.
Oh, yep. So yeah, that's my girl trick for you. Just ask for the parts.
All right. All right.
It's a nice topic.
Yeah, I just read Serena's.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not putting my camera on. So, yeah, I'm not going down that road again.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So Geeky Gardens is in here as well. All right. So, So Mark doesn't want to show his face right now today. Anyways, let's get on with this stuff here and go over some of the stuff here. Get into it. So which one, canning or dehydrating or canning or whatever on it? So I thought of a couple things to kind of lay ground rules on this. All right, so which one is better? And that all depends on what you're doing.
What you need it for.
Yeah.
How long you want to hold it for?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long do you want to hold it for? Mark says.
Yeah. Well, we're coming to that part too. So time versus energy, and we're talking about in the beginning of doing it. All right. Time wise, depends which time you're looking at. Thinking about this, I'm thinking about the time that you're taking out of your normal schedule to do either the dehydrating or the canning. Well, for dehydrating, you're using less time because you put it on the trays, you put it in there, you set it, and you go away, and you come back hours or the next day.
But the prep time to put it on that tray may be longer because you have to chop it into smaller pieces.
That's true too. But then there's the energy portion of that. And just about all dehydrators, unless you've spent the money and got a solar dehydrator out there, run on electricity. And most, not all, most stoves run on either propane or natural gas. Yeah, there are some people that can on electric stoves. I got an electric stove here. We don't even use it. I'm just waiting to get the green light to go buy a gas stove and put it in. Probably not going to happen for us till next year because I just dropped all that money on the car.
Yeah.
So you gotta make a judgment call there on certain things. Now, some things are just totally better to do canning with. Obviously, soup stocks, broths, Other
Anything
ones,
liquid, really.
yeah, and some other things might be better to do dehydrating with. Now, one of the favorite foods when we were growing up with, we never did it ourselves. We always got it from someone else, was jerky. Then my cousin started a jerky company called Riley's Jerky in Northern California. And we'd always get the gift, buy bunches of the gift packages and give them to each other. So, we always knew we were going to get some jerky one way or another. But jerky is dehydrating. And, so that's one of the things that works better. And I've never seen anybody can jerky after they've made jerky.
Now, by definition, I believe chipped beef is canned jerky of the kind for SOS.
Right. Okay.
But other than that, I don't think there's any real canning popularity for canning jerky.
Yeah. Now, one of the next ones here is time versus time. Yeah. Basically, which one is going to take you less one to do? Time to dehydrate, do all that processing, or time to fix, can, and store?
Well, actually, I'm going to say that the canner is quicker because most dehydrating recipes are 6 hours plus, and most of them, if you are 12, if you have a lot of water in something. Yeah. So you're going to be running
I'll turn
that
my camera
longer.
on for Serena.
He moved. He got out of the kitchen. He went down.
I'm actually about to put in things that you can't can. Well, you can. So I have asparagus going in and broccoli right now.
Okay.
So you wouldn't can broccoli.
There. Yeah, you can't can broccoli. You can dehydrate it, but freeze drying's better.
Yeah.
So
I got another tab here just for you, Mark.
What's that?
I got another slide here just for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to open this while you're doing that. Good.
So, and the last one here was use versus time. How quickly are you going to use the item versus how long do you want to store it for? And that also decides whether some things are going to dehydrate, can, or the curveball here and talk about
cauliflower
freeze drying.
Yeah.
So for this batch, because there's a lot of water weight,
and
as broccoli, This whole batch of vegetables is probably going to take about 40 hours. However, after I bag it up, it'll be good for 25 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a, and you can't, well, you can pickle it. I can pickle everything that's in there, but I'm not gonna.
Serena says, what do you call a twitching cow?
Yeah, jerky beef.
That's also what you call one that actually was eating grass and bit the hot wire.
All right, I'm going to turn my camera back off.
Okay, and so with freeze drying, and Tammy and I were talking about this beforehand about going back to jerky. Like I said, my cousins own a company. They've been doing the beef jerky for 30 some odd years. Had the jerky company going. So these are my second cousins. So it was my mom's cousin, Joy and Riley, that set it up, and it's Riley's Jerks. And they cut their jerky really lean. Of course, they sell a lot of their jerky to a lot of the bars and restaurants, and that have that bar drinking establishments and stuff, because they have all sorts of flavors, some really hot ones, some really salty ones, and so these guys will buy it and they'll put it out for people. They started also the guys are more thirsty. Give me another beer. This stuff's good, but it's making me thirsty. Anyways, I was just thinking about how they do theirs so lean. And the last time my daughter got a cow, it's been 3 years. 3 years since she bought a cow, out from the butcher, whole cow. And I'm thinking that if someone does that, like we may wind up doing that next year, or and I'll take half of it back to California with on one of the trips. But if you do a bulk thing of jerky, on a weekend, you still have it up, you get everything going, you make a lot of jerky and stuff. You gotta have more jerky than you can eat at one time. And so I was thinking, all right, freeze drying is something that once you've done your dehydrating, you want to take it to the next step and freeze dry some of it.
You can't freeze dry jerky.
You can't?
No, because when you freeze dry beef, it gets super dry. There's no moisture left in it. Nope. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have fat. And you can't you could chew on it, but it's going to suck the moisture out of your head because it's looking for water, looking for moisture. So no, there is, yes, I freeze dry beef, but I rehydrate it with water and eat it. Right. Or, rehydrate it and cook it and eat it. Or in my case, I do sous vide beef, slice it in strips, freeze dry it. And I did that on a video. I just dip it in some hot water and 125-degree water. It doesn't cook it any further. And I got medium rare beef strips. I'm just eating.
Yeah, because what I was thinking about if I was to try to freeze dry, I'd try to cut it in little small pieces, like little pineapple chunks.
They'll be crunchy.
Yeah, and you just toss one in your mouth and just suck on it. And let it rehydrate.
You better have some water handy or a beer. You're gonna need it.
I always have water handy. But yeah, I was just thinking, like camping, you're sitting around the campfire and stuff. You just pop a couple of those in, and you got the big container of water from the river and stuff, so you're good. Moon Berserker's in the house. So
CR came in too.
CR.
What's up, CR?
He snuck in.
Yeah. CR, eat, CR, eat.
We're talking about jerky. It's one of his favorite topics.
Yeah. So talking about both freeze drying and dehydrating also comes along with vacuum sealing.
Yes.
To keep moisture out of what you dehydrated, to keep it out of your freeze dried stuff. So generally, if you're going to be dehydrating, you're going to be vacuum sealing whatever you dehydrated. And most people don't think about that right off the bat. They go, oh, I dehydrated stuff. I'll just put this in jars. And also, you got 40 jars there. But
Yeah,
they,
with moisture and air. So
that
you
they
got.
forgot to put
I threw
packets in
desiccant.
there.
I used to throw in desiccant packs. I actually have sriracha jerky sticks I made. My daughter gave me a jerky gun. They can either do flat. It's like a giant caulk gun. They can either do flat jerky or tubular. I did tubular. I made sriracha garlic jerky about 9 years ago. I still have a jar. I have a couple jars. I have a bunch of jars of it. I opened one up the other day, and all I threw in was a desiccant pack. And it doesn't have the heat anymore, but it's still fine.
Yeah. But I mean, that was raw. You probably did that very, very lean.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
Cut every bit of the fat off. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But yeah, there's
everything has its purpose.
Yeah. So
freeze drying has a purpose, canning has a purpose, dehydrating has a purpose.
Yeah.
They're not always interchangeable.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I want to do this is because they're not always interchangeable. You got freeze drying, and you got dehydrating or canning. Now you got basically 3 ways there of processing food, and you got to figure out which one is going to work best for the food that you want to save. All right. Serene has a question. What about watermelon?
So,
all right, Mark, you're going to have to show your face on this one because I know you're going to be explaining it.
All right. See, you can't see me because it's dark outside here. That's my problem.
Oh, you went outside again.
Yeah,
okay.
That's where I sit. That's why it's like my camera's kind of pointless out here. So
okay.
You can give a quick summary for Serena.
All right.
Let me shut that mess back off. So, watermelon is 97% water.
97% water, right.
I freeze-dried watermelon because the other of the 3%, 2% of it is sugar or natural sugars. So when I freeze-dried it, it shrank down anyway, and it's sticky.
So when you freeze dry watermelon, it gets very sticky and it's very high sugar content, Serena.
Yes. So it was a fail. I will never do it again.
I dehydrated watermelon once. Not only is it sticky, but it's almost impossible to clean off of your dehydrator tray if you don't put down wax paper. So all those people that say it's a great thing to do, next time warn me to put down some wax paper. It took me 3 days of soaking them in water to get the watermelon off my dehydrator tray, which was 3 days I couldn't use it for dehydrating something. But I do have a great watermelon jelly recipe. So I'm going to say I have changed my mind as of this year, and canning watermelon is the way to go.
Have you ever pickled watermelon rind? You peel the skin off.
I do. I do not use cloves in mine. I don't like it that heavily spiced. We always had it growing up. My mom always made it. I never liked it as a kid. But as an adult, when I was able to tweak the spices to my liking and take out the cloves, it's really good.
I have a friend that wants me to pickle watermelon rinds for him. I'm like, no, I don't like them. I'm not going to can something I don't like. Well, I'll do it if he wants to buy the jars and buy everything. Sure, I'll do it. But no.
Now, talking about dehydrating stuff and stuff getting out of the trays, Lee and Teresa at Stringfield Ridge Farm. When I put that in there, how long ago? 2 years ago. Shared on one of their live streams, shared about doing stuff on it, and they shared this product that they put on top of the dehydrating trays for
silicone mat.
Yeah, it's silicone mat.
Silicone
my
mat.
problem is my trays are round. I don't have one of those expensive, fancy, wonderful dehydrators.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
If Excalibur wants to sponsor me, I am more than open to this, collaboration with them. But I don't have one I can use those, so I have to have like the round ones, and I've had.
And you have the round one has something in the middle that you can't put a full round tray on it too, or is it? Yeah.
That's the vent. That's the vent hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a problem.
Excuse me a second. I think I hear a grandson getting into something.
Uh-oh. So I saw a little lone prepper sneak in. Hi. Didn't want you to not know that we knew you were here. Gil, we've just been talking, and then Gil had to head out there. I think that's everybody that's come in while we were talking here.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Little Lone Prepper came in. Yep, I see that.
And Serena's telling jokes.
What did one fruit say to the other? If you haven't been so fresh, we wouldn't be in this jam.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh. So, yeah, he was my second to youngest, Danny, I think. He's number 3. I'm a number 3 child. Yeah, hey, we click. We understand each other. He out in the front there, I did a video on it where I dug down to the water line 5 feet down, put a manifold down there, dug off of it, ran hex pipe around the yard, put in a bunch of hydrants. Well, it's in a 3-foot diameter pipe barrel I put in. It has a lid on the top of it out of inch and an eighth subfloor that has 6 coats of oil-based paint on it to winterize, and it's painted green so it matches the look of the grass and everything. He was out there looking at it yesterday and left it partially lifted up a little because he couldn't get the little pegs to line up to put it in there. His mom fixed it today, but he was just running back and forth across it out there because it makes a nice boom, 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 like a drum, big bass drum. That's what I heard. I heard the thump, 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 thump. Okay, yeah.
Let's investigate these thumps. Yeah. Back on topic, way back. I thought of it, but then we got talking. Things that I think are better dehydrated than canned. I love dehydrated onions. I love dehydrated potatoes. We're not going to discuss why I don't want to can potatoes, but they, let's just say
we know.
Right now, I'd rather dehydrate them. And garlic, even though I have a lot of great recipes for garlic, I can store a lot more garlic and I use it as garlic powder. So I like to dehydrate a lot of garlic.
So fun fact, garlic. I want to freeze dry garlic. And before I did that, I decided to look into, well, the science caught me off guard. When you freeze dry something, it's always looking for moisture. So I'm like, oh, my wife's like, make garlic powder. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I'm like, wait, no, bad idea. Because as soon as you open the jar to sprinkle it, humidity's going to get in there. It's going to turn into a brick.
A question for you. What is the second most humid room in your house?
The what?
What is the second most humid room in your house? I'll give
kitchen.
you a hint. You take a shower in the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, laundry room.
The kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen?
Yeah, because the laundry room's vented out, so it's not as humid as the kitchen. That's why you're not supposed to store any of your spices above your stove, even though everybody does. Everybody wants to put them above their stove because that's what they use them. Worst place in your house.
I will dehydrate garlic, chop garlic before and then turn it into a powder because it's still going to try to absorb moisture, but not at the ridiculous rate that freeze dried will. Yeah. So there is a use for everything, and freeze drying spices. I was going to freeze dry my herbs. I was like, no, bad idea. I'd rather throw them in a dehydrator because my parsley will still be parsley flakes and not
tea. I dehydrate a lot of plants for teas.
Yeah,
but I don't think that they would freeze dry or be as good as if. So
well, the flavors you would maintain 100% of the flavor. And you bet if you're going to pack it, you better pack it in small packages because when you open it up, it's going to start to deteriorate really quick as opposed to dehydrating, which it won't as bad, which all tea is just, it's air dried for the most part. or dehydrate it just with
Yeah,
air.
I just hang it to dry.
Right.
So it's not costing me any energy other than sunlight.
Oh, wait a minute. Something you did with your car.
Oh, the chili peppers. I put the chili
Yes.
peppers. I hung them in my car because in the summer my car is very hot and very dry. And I was doing a lot of traveling that year. And so I just hung my peppers up on the little hook behind the hook you're supposed to put, the businessman suit hangs in that little special
Yeah,
little hook to
put a
hang your suit
clothesline
when you're
in the spices.
Yeah, I did. I strung a string and I just had peppers.
And there are videos of it on her channel. She
Yeah.
did
I would
videos.
have loved to have been a cop and pull you over just to look in your car and go, what am I looking at?
Yeah, like my tea was hanging, and I look like a fancy South American restaurant.
Yeah. I mean, I could just,
in my
I
dress.
talk about I could see the cop walk up. What is, okay, never mind. That's not what I thought it was. Go. And then you see him going, I'm going code 7 right now at the Italian restaurant over here.
That chili pepper made some really good chili pepper powder too.
Yeah. All right. Talking about dehydrating herbs and stuff. Tomatoes. There are some people I've seen several channels do it. They'll dehydrate a whole bunch of them, and then they will powder it all.
Yep, tomato powder.
Put it in jars, and that way they can just spoon it into recipes.
Yep.
As they need easily.
They use the leftover cast off parts from canning. So they use the seeds and the skins and the cores. I don't really want to use the cores, but some of them do. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And then they powder that. And then they use it like tomato paste to thicken anything.
I did that with tomatoes. I freeze dried them and I made tomato powder. And I throw it, I make sure it's 100% no moisture. They're in half pint jars. And then I put an oxygen absorber in there so I can pull it out, and it's raw tomatoes. So it's not cooked. So it's great for making salad dressings. A couple teaspoons in with your oil and vinegar, and it's a tomatoey. Throw some sour cream in there, whatever you want to do. And yeah, great tomatoey flavor, fresh tomato, not dehydrated, which is not really cooked, but it's sort of a little cooked. So the flavors are just a little different. But that's the only thing I did that. And I do mushroom powder.
I love mushroom powder. Oh my gosh. I can mushrooms and I love canned mushrooms, but mushroom powder just takes a steak or soup or just everything.
Yep.
Just a one flavor notch. Oh, when I go to the store, I always go through and check to see what mushrooms are on clearance because I'm not going to pay full price for them.
Nope.
And then I dehydrate them, and then every single mushroom is thrown in this mushroom powder. So there could be 8 to 10 different varieties because I get them from the farmer's market too, that I dehydrate, powder, and throw into my mushroom powder. So it is really high in health benefits. And because it's not canned, those health benefits are a little bit fresher. Yeah.
The first time I did mushrooms, I bought 2 flats at Aldi. They're on sale for like 69 cents each for the button portobellos, whatever they were. I sliced them, dehydrated them. My wife came home. She's like, she doesn't really like mushrooms. She's like, oh my God, the house smells like dirt. I was like, yeah, sorry. But she likes it when she throws a teaspoon in something. You don't taste the mushroom,
and
but
you
it
don't
gets
get
that umami flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't get the texture. A lot of people, their obstacle with mushrooms is the texture.
Yep.
So when you make mushroom powder and you throw it in things or put it on things like a spice, I like to put it right on top of my steak. It just gives it a just one more level of flavor. It's rich. It makes everything taste richer, and I don't know, and meatier, even if it's not a meat. But the health benefits. And the more I learn about the health benefits of mushrooms, the more different types of mushrooms I try to get in my mushroom powder.
Okay,
My favorite mushrooms right now are king oyster.
I'm just double checking out, make sure I don't miss anything here on the side chat. So like, like Jack was saying, he cans tomatoes, he peels them and uses the skins for making powder.
Yeah.
There's several people, I've seen people doing that on the things.
Thank you, CR.
Let's see. Side chat, guys, anything particular that you know that you prefer to do one way or another? What do you like to do? Either canning, dehydrating, freeze drying. Now, dehydrating is also, to me, covers a lot more. Like Tammy did with it hanging in the car. That's dehydrating. That's the old natural one. Dehydrating. Grapes to raisin.
And you froze.
And froze. Let's see, what's the other one?
Jerky.
Jerky, but the other fruit. Plums to prunes.
Yes.
Dehydrating.
Apples.
Yeah.
Our ancestors survived on dehydrated apples for winter for vitamin C to keep from getting scurvy. Yeah. There is somewhere in the Tibetan mountains, that kind of area. I'm not necessarily in the country of Tibet, but in that mountainous region of that. Mm-hmm. There's a tribe that in the 3 months or 6 months of winter, they survive on goat milk yogurt and dehydrated apricots, and that's their only two foods.
Yeah.
And they live to be like 110.
Ooh.
Ooh,
dehydrated sweet potato is pretty good.
I love to make sweet potato chips. I really like dehydrating potatoes because then I can use them for instant mashed potatoes and all sorts of different dishes. They really do well that way.
So we got a question. Garlic, when dehydrating, what temperature? Well, if you have a dehydrator, it should have a booklet with it. If not, you can go online for the book and get the thing for it to tell you what setting to set it at.
Yeah. Usually I do things at right around 165 to 185 degrees. Generally, that's my range for my personal dehydrator. And then I slice them very, very thin. And I put them on parchment paper. Not wax paper, parchment paper. I misspoke earlier. Parchment paper, because otherwise they'd fall through. Or if I have the silicone, sometimes I've had the silicone inserts, then I would put them on that. And then you have to turn them so they get dry on all sides.
Yep.
I can't give you a time. It's between 6 and 12 hours. It really depends on the moisture content. And when I snap them in half, I want them to snap. I don't want them to have any moisture left in the inside.
Yeah, and if you leave them whole, it'll take forever.
Yeah, you can't. And then sometimes I will powder it and pour it back on that silicone tray and dehydrate it for a couple hours more, just to make sure I got all the moisture that I could out of it before I put it in my spice container.
Now, if you're gonna dice it or mince it, whatever, that's fine. It takes longer to rehydrate and cook than fresh garlic does.
Yeah. Mother Earth News, my favorite one, this summer's tea blend is raspberry leaf, strawberry leaf, a little bit of lemon balm, and mint. So 1 sprig of mint to like 6 of lemon balm to several strawberry leaves or raspberry leaves.
And chocolate mint.
Chocolate mint is very good, but I the only mint I can't grow and I kill every time I get a pot of it is chocolate mint. Every time. And
Okay.
on this topic for Gil right now, because Gil is doing an indoor growing thing, I have brought in my pot of lemon balm so that I can grow it all winter if my cats will leave it alone. My basil, my raspberry, and my oregano are
So
my plants right now that I am
let
gearing
me know.
up and getting used to being indoors for his challenge.
Let me know if your lemon balm dies. I have probably 8,000 plants all around my house. They took over.
Oh, just freeze dry all of it and mail it to me in the mail.
Well, I'd have to
I'll pay postage.
freeze drying, sure. Dehydrating, probably
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, dehydrate it all and send it to me because, like, I am just like on a lemon balm tea tincture. My son has decided that lemon balm is the cure for all of his allergies, and apparently the placebo effect is working 100% at the moment. So just send me all the lemon balm.
All right. So Moon Berserker asks, do you blanch your vegetables before drying them or dehydrating them?
Yes, almost all of them. Not everything, but almost all of them.
I know my wife, when she just freezes vegetables, not freeze dry, just freezes them, she'll blanch it and then she'll blanch it and dry it like if she's doing spinach or chard, she'll blanch it, then pat everything dry, and then fold it all up and put it in a container and toss it in the freezer.
Yeah, you're always better off blanching a vegetable because when you blanch your vegetable, it'll break the membranes in the cell walls nicely.
Yeah.
If you freeze raw vegetables, the cell walls will explode and it'll turn to mush when you thaw it.
I have to interpret for Serena. So when I say wait, you have to stop so I can remember to do this for Serena. So blanching breaks down the enzymes that causes food to spoil.
Right.
So, and it also breaks down some of the cell membranes. Did I get that right?
In a clean manner. In a clean manner.
So that it helps preserve it for freezing or freeze drying.
Right.
If you freeze a raw vegetable, the moisture expands inside individual cells and it turns to mush.
Yeah, it breaks in that way.
So Mark said, Serena, that if you freeze a vegetable that is raw, the moisture contained in the raw vegetable bursts the cell membranes and causes it to turn to mush.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Lewis is asking, how long do you blanch vegetables before you freeze them?
Depends on the vegetable.
Yeah.
There's shoot.
There
are several books on Amazon. I'm trying to remember which book my wife has, but I'm not even sure they offer it on Amazon. It's an old one that was her grandmother's book on it, and it has times for blanching, the amount you're doing it. Because if you do like a whole bunch, you got to blanch it a little bit longer because you just cooled the water off a little bit. You got to get it up to things and stuff, but. You need to read up on it, Lewis, is the best way, and experiment.
I go by mouthfeel. When I'm blanching broccoli, I dump all my broccoli into boiling water, and then after about a minute and a half, I'll take one of the medium-sized pieces and chew on it. If it doesn't taste raw, it's probably blanched fine. I might let it go for an extra 30 seconds. If it's still crunchy and hard, like cauliflower, that goes a little longer. Asparagus, same thing.
Okay, Serena. So Mark just said that he blanches al dente, which means he does it to his teeth, and they have to pass the teeth test. If it's not soft enough, he does it for a little bit longer. What I was going to say, Lewis, is I know that you probably have a Ball Blue Book for canning, and the freezing tables for blanching before you freeze food are in your Ball Blue Book as well.
Okay, cool. There's okay. I got to refresh another page here real quick here. so I can give you guys accurate information, because my subscriber numbers have been gone above 5,500 and got slapped back down again, and it went down. Oh, it's back up to 5,505. It went to 5,503 earlier today, and it took 6 away.
That's okay. I was watching TubeBuddy, and I was like, "Oh, I'm watching because I'm coming to a milestone with the watch hours."
Mm-hmm.
But they do view count on TubeBuddy. They took 1,000 views away from me the other day. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Yeah. And that's why I tell everybody, when you're watching somebody's, and if they're one of your favorite ones that you're a subscriber to, always, even if you just watch it, give it a thumbs up. You know,
And,
or
and make a comment. Like, that's like you'll see Gil or I or a lot of people here. We just say first, second, third. You don't have to make some big fancy drawn out comment.
Now
Just
throw a smiley face in there.
Anything. Just comment a little bit, because that helps that channel. So it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It take a lot of time out of your day. Just say first, third. I don't care. I don't. It's just
and if you're watching a replay later on, a lot of my notes have been. I'm not sure who started. I think it may have been Alicia Optism Mom started it, saying replay team.
Yes, I do that now too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and that's the thing is we got 23 watching, 17 likes. All right, guys, smash that thumbs up.
I'm one of them. Sorry, I'm on my I'm on my other channel watching the chat because I can't watch it on my iPad on the live.
Oops, I was one of those people too that didn't have a thumbs up. Thanks, Serena. I fixed it.
Yeah. So what I'm scheduling here, let me get my thing so I get the right date. I'm scheduling the giveaway. So it's going to be on November 8th on Friday night on the Homestead here on Camppatton Family Compound. And that's for the 5,500 giveaway. There's going to be giveaway for those that are just in the chat, coming in the chat that are present. There's going to be giveaway for regular channel members, which are camper level, which is the 99 cents a month, but they got to be there to claim the prize. Now, those that are the 5 members that are member of the Staff Sergeant's boot camp, that's $5.99 a month. They don't have to be there to win. If their name comes up, they automatically win. And I got their emails, and so I'll be sending them the $50 Amazon gift card. So the Staff Sergeant Boot Camp gets a $50 Amazon gift card. The regulars, I'm going to do 3 drawings from the regular, the camper level. There's going to be 3 drawings for $10, and there's going to be several drawings for $5 from anybody that's in the chat. So that's coming up in a week from Friday. So basically 11 days, 12 days, whatever. Anyway, on the 8th. So that's what's coming up here for that. So, I mean, I was just going, and all of a sudden YouTube put the brakes on and started shadow banning me because I said some truth.
Kind of like me with Facebook. I'm now in the restricted zone and can't comment in any of my own groups because I don't like their candidate. I like the other one.
Yeah. I'm trying. There's a couple of them that they've done that too, and they just
But now they're going after me for something other people posted in my Rebel Canners Facebook group and counted that against me personally. So they're just really going at me.
Yeah.
Can you just go in and delete the post? Oh, you can't do anything in there anymore. Have one of your moderators do it.
No, they won't show. I could delete it, but they won't show me which one it was that they're dinging me for.
Of course not, because they don't want to pay you. They don't want to pay you anything.
But if you delete it, you can't argue about it.
Yeah.
And it was probably somebody talking about beef fat.
So there's a chemical that a company made for washing glasses in commercial dish machines.
Right.
The
Washing-
first,
yeah.
yeah, it was for a commercial glass washer, and it was. I know the backstory on it. The first word is super. The second word is a candidate last name. Yes, it is literally called that. The company removed that and gave it some other name because it was triggering our customers. Let's just call it Super President. That's what it was. It was called Super President. Except insert your T word there.
Yeah.
Instead. Yeah, it's out there. And they stopped making it because of that. My dog is barking. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, and now for those that are interested, I'm refreshing the page on Gray Man Prepping, my other channel. And so it's sitting. Okay, for the last 10 days, I've been no gain at all in subscribers for at least the last 10 days. And yeah, so now I'm up to 1876. That one's the one that's really trying to slow down. That's the one, that's with the Midnight Rider where we talk all the truth and everything, and just anyways. All right, we're up to all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Serena, for putting up 23 and 21. Thank you. Now I'm going to be talking offline with Tammy and Mark about next year. I got topics for Monday night up through December 9th. But I'm thinking about maybe we could expand this for a little more than just canning. And I know we've been doing some, when you're not here, we do talk about freeze drying. Tonight's kind of all over the place, trying to tie everything together. But I think maybe we ought to start doing some.
How about cooking or other types of cooking methods?
Yeah, spend a little bit more time on other things. Actually, like dehydrating herbs, dehydrating squash, do things like that. So side chat, if you have a suggestion for things you'd like to see us talk about here, food wise, here specifically, down in the very bottom of the description is this email. So you can email me, or you can send it to rebelcanners@gmail.com, and Tammy will get it. And we can work around, start adding it to the chat here. To the program list of things coming up here, and we can get some things that you guys really want to hear about. Because if you have a bunch of you out there really want to hear something specific and we don't know about it, we may not realize you want to hear about that. So, and and just for those that are new that don't know, so the staff sergeant's, my wife, last name is Campbell. My last name is Patton. You put the two together, Camppatton. She did that. She did that when our first kid joined Cub Scouts, and she started a new email called Camppatton that she, not at Gmail, a different one that she was using for all the scouting stuff, and that became her regular one. But I'm not going to tell you which one she's using, but yeah, it's out there. But coming up here, what we do have coming up here, let me look at the schedule on the other computer screen. All right, back to the top. There we go. Okay, so tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping is getting ready for Halloween, and it's going to be a lot of safety talk about a lot of stuff. Food, candy, electrical stuff if you're setting decorations outside. We're going to talk about a lot of the safety stuff, because it'll also carry over some of the safety stuff over to Christmas decorations outside. Thursday, Tammy's going to be going live Thursday. No,
not this week.
Not this week. Okay. Thursday night is the midnight ride on Gray Man Preppings at 10 o'clock Eastern, which is midnight in Rio de Janeiro. So we're partying down in Rio on Thursday. This Friday is winterizing your livestock, since I was totally messed up last Friday. Evidently, I'm really susceptible to certain astronomical things going on, and I could not sleep Thursday night. I even tried taking the little, the melatonin things to try to help me sleep. I was awake until 5:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then, and I
just eat a turkey dinner. You'll go right to sleep.
No, I was up doing things, and then as I got closer to when I was going to set it up, all of a sudden I started going, okay, I'm getting tired. Oh crap. Oh crap. And I could not keep my eyes open until because I usually go live on Fridays at my time, Mountain Time, 6 o'clock. Until 9 o'clock, I was climbing into bed, and all of a sudden, bam! What's going on? Why am I awake?
Well, I don't feel bad then, because the other day I was laying here waiting to go live when you and hopefully come up when you were going live about something, and the next thing I know, I wake up and you're saying goodbye to everybody.
Yeah. At least I have not fallen, even on my 24-hour live for Gray Man Prepping, I haven't fallen asleep on camera.
You weren't live yet. I was just waiting.
The other night.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you to go live, and I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden I wake up.
So anyway, so this Friday is going to be winterizing your livestock, talking everything from chickens, turkeys, pheasants, doves, whatever it is you're raising. We're going to talk about preparing them for winter. Survival Saturday for Gray Man Prepping is another one that is going to trigger algorithms. Get ready for another panic run on supplies.
That'll be a week from.
I've been getting other information about other things not directly tied to the big day. Next Monday is a little takeoff of a little bit what we talked tonight. Air drying and hanging herbs and root vegetables for storage. Pros. Air drying and hanging herbs and root vegetables for storage. And that was a recommendation from Kaylin.
Nice. Before we go, can I ask Kaylin about what I saw the other day?
Yeah. Kaylin.
Kaylin, I don't know if you've done one of these before, but the other day I saw something I've never seen before, a civilian MRE. Apparently they're passing them out in North Carolina, and they're made by the same company that makes the standard US MREs. Have you ever seen one? They're white. Bree from Scratch, Art had one that they gave out down there in North Carolina. He was comparing them to the regular ones, but I had never seen a civilian.
What kind of food was it? Just like beef stew?
He was comparing it to the chili mac.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was a spaghetti, but it was really gross.
Yeah, it's because it's you know what? I make good freeze-dried spaghetti MREs.
Yeah. Well, the drink in it was something it was like grape sweet potato drink.
Ugh.
Like,
they're trying to get the vitamins in you and stuff, and yeah, sure.
Okay, she's reviewed the new Survivor Daily Ration. Okay. All right. I'll have to go back and look at that video, Kaylin. I did not see that on yours, but I'm like, I've got to tell Kaylin about that, because I had never heard of a civilian MRE before.
Yeah, it's like Mountain House. I mean. Yeah, well.
Ew.
That's why I bought a freeze dryer.
All right.
I love
sorry,
some
a couple things to talk about. Serena's asking a question here. So, $3.99 a pound for mesquite smoked butterball breast meat.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Slice it and make your own lunch meat. Because right
Yeah.
now I just paid $4.99 for some really sick looking ham at Walmart for lunch, for grilled ham and cheese sandwiches for dinner.
Okay, the giveaway is going to be Friday, November 8th. Make sure I double check my calendar here. Yeah, Friday, November 8th. And anybody that's in the chat is eligible to get I'm going to be giving away several $5 Amazon gift cards. Anyone that is a channel member at the camper level, which is the 99-cent level, I'm going to give away several $10 Amazon gift cards. So it'll be $10 Amazon gift cards, like 2 or 3 or so on that. And then those that are a part of the Staff Sergeant's Boot Camp are going to, I'm giving away one $50 Amazon gift card. So that's what's going to be coming up. And I will post something about it in the on community post here today or tonight or tomorrow on that. So,
All right.
and what I have is I have, for those that are channel members, I just run a report and it tells me who's the channel member and which level they're at. It's in Excel. I take that and export it to the magic wheel. And hang on here. Let me see if I can find the magic wheel.
Is that on StreamYard?
No. Well, no, the magic wheel is on something else here. And give you an example. This is the magic wheel.
Yeah, Joe does that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is on wheelofnames.com. It's free.
Oh, okay.
And you just enter the names in, and you spin it and do it. Right now, I got it loaded up with the Gray Man Prepping channel members. So, but I have one for Camppatton Family Compound as well, and so I will load that up there. And then I also have the one for like here for tonight, just to give you guys an example here. Let me see if I can do this here. Open a new tab. Boom, there we go. And put this over here. So match hashtag. So what it'll work. Anybody's in the chat during the live, I just tell them, okay, type in hashtag canning. Like right now, everybody type. This is just a practice. Type in hashtag canning. So start collecting. So type in hashtag canning, and we'll just give it a practice here. Of course, I'll do it over here on my own as well. So.
Yeah, that's how Joe does it. I've seen him do that.
Yeah. And so what this takes for anybody's in the chat that enters hashtag canning. Got 4 entries coming and it's rolling in. 5, 6. I see more pulling in. It'll take a second for it to roll in. And then we give it a few seconds for it to sit. And then I do the draw. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 in there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the draw, and it goes through everybody, and it picks somebody. And
of course you won, you bastard.
I won! But it picks it. StreamYard does this totally. I have no control over who does it. So that's how it works. It just goes through and it picks whoever's in the thing that puts it in there, and it does it. And I go back and so what I'll do is I will I can change it up and put different different ones in there as we go through it.
A little bit late, Kaylin. You spelled it wrong.
Let me see. Okay, so I put it in. Mark put it in. Tammy. The only reason it was rigged, CR, is because you didn't put hashtag canning in.
Yeah. Come on, man. I would have given you a free freeze-dried pizza if you won CR, but sorry. Too late.
Yeah. So that's how it'll go. And so you know, and so basically you have to be there to win.
Got to be in it to win it.
Yep,
like
exactly. And it's like if you're one of the regular channel members and you win it, you know, say, all right, send me the email to make, because I don't have everybody's email. All the ones in the Staff Sergeant's Boot Camp, I got all their emails. I got a lot of the emails that are channel members, but I don't have them all. So especially when Lewis throws up another 5 free memberships. So yeah, so that's how that's going to work. Going back over here real quick. Yeah, so so next Monday is, I said, air drying and hanging fruits and doing root storage and stuff like that. We're going to talk about food storage again next Monday. Different things to do it, and we'll probably venture into the realm of wrapping apples in newspapers and other things like that. This to save stuff. You're muted.
You're muted.
So, and I shared this with Howie from Food Forest Permaculture. I got an heirloom apple the other day at the farmer's market. I had never, ever tasted before, never heard of the variety before. They did an apple tasting. And it is the Hudson Golden Gem. It is an heirloom. It's a yellow apple. It's a russet. The outside looks like a pear, but it's apple shaped. But the skin has the texture and the feel of a pear. It's a russet.
Cool.
And it is the sweetest, crispest yellow I've ever tasted.
Did you save the seeds?
Oh, every single one of them. It tastes like and the guy is going to graft me one.
Now, do you have to freeze the seeds?
You put them in a wet paper towel in a plastic bag in the refrigerator until they sprout. Once the sprout gets out about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, you put it in just enough soil to cover it so that it can make roots.
Oh, cool.
But I've started several apple trees that way. Don't know if it'll be true or not, because he did have like 4 other varieties he brought there, but it was his own
cross-pollination.
tree.
You never know.
It still could be a good apple. I mean, this cross with anything would be a good apple. It's that good. Yeah. I bought an entire bushel.
Ooh. Ooh.
Half the bushel's gone.
Yeah.
Is it canned or eaten?
Eaten fresh. Like candy.
All right. Yeah. Gonna need to wrap this up here now. I lost track of the time here. Lee at Cold War Prepper has gone live. He's live.
And he froze.
And it froze. So Lee at Cold War Prepper is live. His thing is Prepper's Workbook, Chapter 1, Getting Started is what his topic is tonight over on Cold War Prepper. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the comments in the side chat. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping for Tactical Tuesday. All right. Take care.
Have a good night. The pizza has spoken.